Happy morning to you all. Blue Stars Higher Secondary School welcomes you all to learn the exercise question tags. What do you know about question tags? Question tags are short form at the end of statements. They are mainly used in speech when we want to confirm something or when we want to find out if something is true or not. It isn't a dog, is it? They are cats, aren't they? So, question tags are formed with the auxiliary or modal verb from the main sentence and the appropriate subject pronoun. Karan is learning to drive, isn't she? Mark can't ride a horse, can he? So, question tag. There are 5 simple points we should follow when we use a tag question. First point. A comma is used between the main sentence and the tag part. Example, this is your book. One comma want to place here after this book. Then we want to write the tag part, isn't it? Second point. Even if the subject of the main sentence is a noun, proper noun or common noun, the subject of the tag part is always a corresponding personal noun. Example, Shweta isn't your sister, is she? Suresh has gone home, hasn't he? So, Suresh it's a proper noun, male, singular. So, we want to write he. Pronoun, male, singular, subjective case. That's why we are using he here. Next example, Ajay and Shweta got their books, didn't. Then what pronoun we want to use here? Ajay and Shweta. It is the proper nouns, male and then female, plural. So we want to use the pronoun they here. Personal pronoun, male, plural. Next, third point. The verb in the tag part depends on the verb in the main sentence. If the verb in the main sentence is in present tense, the verb in the tag part will be in present tense. And the verb in the main sentence is in past tense, the verb in the tag part will be in past tense, and so on. If the verb in the main sentence is in positive form, the verb in the tag part will be negative form. If the verb in the main sentence is in negative form, the verb in the tag part will be positive form. She is your sister. What we want to write here? Is. Is the main verb, but we have to change it as a negative one. That's why it's a simple present tense positive. So we have to change it simple present tense negative. So you want to use she is your sister, isn't she? Suresh hasn't done his work. What we want to use here? Hasn't. Present perfect negative. So we want to use has. Present perfect positive we have to write. So what's the answer here? Suresh hasn't done this work. Has he? Next, Ajay goes to school. Goes. It's a simple present word positive, but we have to change it as negative one. Like the same, does not go, simple present negative. So we want to write doesn't. Ajay goes to school, doesn't he? Suresh did not go to school. What we want to write here? Did not go. So the opposite of this word, what we want to write? Simple past negative. So we want to change it as simple past but positive. Go, simple past positive. However, in tag part the auxiliary verb alone is used. So we want to use did. Suresh did not go to school, did he? Fourth point, the negative form of the verb in the tag part is always contracted. Does not, doesn't, has not, hasn't, will not, won't. Fifth point, word order. In the statement sentence, in the main sentence, the subject comes first and the verb comes next. But in the tag part, the verb comes first and the subject comes next, just as in the interrogative sentence. For example, a woman fainted, didn't she? Main sentence, tag part. Subject first, verb next. Verb first, subject next. In main sentence, we have to write the subject first and then verb next. But in the tag part, we have to write the verb first and then subject next. We use a negative question tag after a positive sentence. Kate will be here soon, won't she? There was a lot of traffic, wasn't there? Michael should pass the exam, shouldn't he? So, some of the positive tags here. Positive sentences here, but we are using negative question tag after a positive sentence. Examples for some negative question tag: aren't you? Isn't he? Weren't he? Shall we? Mustn't we? Wasn't he? Shouldn't you? Can't you? Don't you? Doesn't you? Didn't you? Hadn't you? Aren't I? Couldn't you? Wouldn't you? Wouldn't you? Haven't you? Won't you? Next, some of the examples for the positive question tag. We use a positive question tag after a negative sentence. Kate won't be late, will she? They don't like us, do they? You haven't got a car, have you? Here, some of the positive question tags. Are you? Was he? Were they? Should you? Do you? Would you? Will you? Did you? Is he? Can you? Have you? Had you? Could you? Must be. Some of the rules given here for the question tags. Use the same auxiliary verb as in the main class. If there is no auxiliary, use do, does or did. If the main class is negative, the tag is affirmative. If the main class is affirmative, the tag is negative. Don't change the tenses. Use the same subject in the main class and the tag. The tag must always contain the subject form of the pronoun. Negative forms are usually contracted, not. If they are not, they follow the order auxiliary plus subject plus not. He saw this yesterday. Vicky not. There are and it is a forms contain a pseudo subject, so the tag will also contain there or it as if it were a subject pronoun. The verb have may be used as a main verb. I have a new car. Or it may be used as an auxiliary. John has gone to class already. When it functions as a main verb in American English, the auxiliary forms do, does or did must be used in the tag. There are only 28 days in February, aren't they? It is raining now, isn't it? It isn't raining now, is it? The boys don't have class tomorrow, do they? You and I talked with the professor yesterday, didn't we? You won't be leaving for another hour, will you? Jill and Joe have been to Mexico, haven't they? She has an exam tomorrow, doesn't she? That is my pen, isn't it? Those are her books, aren't they? The students have never visited Bali, have they? Now we are going to learn the rules with the examples. First rule: if you are having the positive statement, we will have the negative tag. For example, you are a student, aren't you? You like tea, don't you? They have left, haven't they? They were busy, weren't they? You will leave, won't you? Next, the second rule. If we are having the negative statement, surely we will have the positive tag. You are not a student, are you? You don't like tea, do you? They haven't left, have they? They were not busy, were they? You won't leave, will you? Third rule: imperative and prohibition sentences. Come tomorrow, will you? Be careful, will you? For imperative and prohibition sentence, its tag uses will you for the imperative and prohibition sentences. And then for the request sentences, let's read aloud, shall we? Let's study, shall we? Let me have a look, shall I? Let's walk, shall we? Let me drink, shall I? Will you? Won't you? Like that we have to use for the request sentences. Then the fourth rule, to be. That means Be forms am, is, are, was, were. They are sick, aren't they? I am not stupid, am I? I am clever, aren't I? I am lazy, aren't I? Auxiliaries can, could, shall, should, will, would, may, might, do, does, did, have, has, had. He did not go, did he? He won't go, will he? He will go, won't he? Next, the fifth rule. Verbal sentences use don't, doesn't, didn't. You write a letter every way, don't you? He writes a letter every way, doesn't he? He wrote a letter last night, didn't he? He has his breakfast at 9 o'clock, doesn't he? He have to hurry, don't we? Ali had a swim yesterday, didn't he? Next, sixth rule about pronouns. First of all, personal pronouns. Ida is at home, isn't she? There is a party tonight, isn't there? Those and these are plural, changed by they. Those are your pens, aren't they? These books are new, aren't they? Seventh rule. Some exceptional in question tags. Declarative sentences that use never, seldom, none, hardly, nobody, neither, nothing. Their tag must be in past tense. So, the sentence whichever consists these words never, seldom, none, hardly, like that, we have to consider it as a negative statement. You never used to wear a hat, did you? Nobody is ready, are they? Ali seldom goes to school, does he? There is nothing to do now, is there? Eighth rule. Some exceptional in question tags. The statement is a singular, but the tag must be in plural or they. If the statements contains within words everybody, everyone, none, someone, nobody, neither. Everybody is ready, aren't they? Neither of them cried, did they? Nobody is absent, are they? So, for these words, we have to use the pronoun they. Question tags with imperatives. Sometimes we use question tags with imperatives, invitations or orders, but the sentence remains an imperative and does not require a direct answer. We use won't for invitations, we use can, can't, will, would for orders. Question tags with imperatives. Invitation. Take a seat, won't you? It is a polite note. Help me, can you? Quite friendly. Help me, can't you? Quite friendly. Some irritation. Then order. Close the door, would you? Quite polite. Do it now, will you? Less polite. Don't forget, will you? With negative imperatives, only will is possible. When the verb of the sentence is the present or past simple, we form the question tag with do or does or did and the subject pronoun. John doesn't like girls, does he? They left for Milan, didn't they? When the sentence contains a word with a negative meaning like never, hardly, seldom or rarely, the question tag is positive. They hardly ever go to the theatre, do they? He never plays tennis, does he? Some verbs or expressions form question tags differently. I am, aren't I? Imperative, will or won't you? Don't, will you? Let's, shall we? So we have to keep it in our mind. I am thin, aren't I? Stop talking, will or won't you? Don't talk, will you? Let's go out, shall we? I have got, haven't I? I possess. Here, the have, the verb have used here as a possessive. That's why we are using haven't I. She has got a bike, hasn't she? I have, don't I? Why? Other meanings than the possessiveness, isn't it? You have lunch at 3 o'clock, don't you? There is or are, isn't or aren't there? There is an envelope on the desk, isn't there? This or that is, isn't it? This is Palm's shirt, isn't it? Statement with anyone, no one, none, anybody, nobody, somebody, someone. Take the plural pronoun they. Everybody welcomed the idea, didn't they? Nobody was permitted to enter, were they? Somebody can enter the garden, can't they? Anybody will answer the question, won't they? Anyone could have done it, couldn't they? Anything, nothing, everything, something. We have to use the pronoun it. For the words somebody, someone, everybody, everyone, anybody, anyone, nobody, no one, we have to use the pronoun they for these words. Semi-negative words like few, hardly, little, rarely, scarcely, seldom, never, no one are used as follows. Few students attended the class, did they? There is hardly any flower in the tree, is there? Little progress has been made in this project, has it? Rarely does she visit a temple, does she? She is scarcely aware of the tragedy, is he? They seldom meet each other nowadays, do they? I have never attended the function, have I? A few and a little convey the positive idea. A negative tag is added to them. A few boys went to the picnic, didn't they? A little effort has taken to solve the problem, hasn't it? Although the adverb only has a positive approach to, it may be taken a negative tag. There were only 2 horses left in the stable, were there? If the subject of the sentences start with everything, anything, something or nothing, the pronoun it should be used. Everything is alright, isn't it? Anything happens in our life, doesn't it? Something will happen today, won't it? Nothing can be done, can't it? After imperative sentences, we must change as follows. Please open the door, will you? It shows our request here in this sentence. Inform the police, won't you? It shows the urgent need. Keep silence, can't you? It's a command. Try this method, won't you? It's an offer. After negative imperative sentence, we must use will you. Don't make noise, will you? Don't ask silly question, will you? Sentence start with let, we must use shall in the question tag. Let's start our work, shall we? Let me go to the library, shall I? Some of the examples given here for your better understanding. I like wearing colorful costumes, don't I? She went to cinema last week, didn't she? I have to wear uniform in the school, don't I? Sheila hasn't written any novels, has she? Kibra can't play football well, can she? I am from Merzin, aren't I? I am not from Merzin, am I? Duigu is going to read her English storybook next weekend, isn't she? There is a tape recorder on the table, isn't there? This is a worksheet, isn't it? Don't give me advice, will you? Give an example, please, will you? Sit down, will you? Let's go to party, shall we? Let's play a game, shall we? Somebody is at the door, aren't they? Everybody is thinking about the quiz, aren't they? Nobody called me yesterday, did they? Everything was done to save the rainforest, wasn't it? Sultan never drinks beer, does she? My mother rarely goes out with her friends, does she? Huila has never been to Paris, has she? My friend seldom has an argument with somebody, does she? Some of the exercise for your practice. Write it down on your note and then submit it on next class. First one. Put a question tag at the end of each sentence. Tom won't be late. First one is done for you. Will he? They were very angry. You have to fill the dashes. And is on holiday. You weren't listening. Sue doesn't like onions. Jax applied for the job. You have got a camera. You can type. He won't mind if I go early. Tom could help you. So you have to practice on your own. There are a lot of people here. Let's have dinner. This isn't very interesting. I'm too fat. You wouldn't tell anyone. Listen, I shouldn't have got angry. Don't drop it. They had to go home. He's never seen you before. Complete the conversation, put in the question tags. Mary, let's go out somewhere tonight. Jeff, all right, where? Mary, you haven't got a local paper. You have to fill the question tag. Pass it over here. You have to fill it. Thanks. Well, there's a disco at the Grand Hotel. Jeff, fine, but I haven't got any money. You couldn't lend me £5. Question tag. Mary, okay, I will pay then. I will meet you outside at 8 o'clock. Don't be late. Question tag you have to fill. Then the third exercise, put a question tag at the end of each sentence. You don't like this music. Robert isn't at work today. I'm too late. You haven't seen the newspaper. Lynn speaks French and German. They didn't go to the concert. You had like to have something to eat. You are leaving tomorrow. You couldn't do me a favor. You don't know where Sarah is. Switch on the light for me. Don't forget to lock the door. Nobody was watching the TV. Everyone will be here soon. Nothing terrible has happened. There's a plenty of time. Pass me that magazine. Let's have a cup of tea. It's a good restaurant. You haven't seen my keys. Then the fourth exercise, add tag questions to the following. First one is done for you. They want to come, don't they? Elizabeth is a dentist. They won't be here. There aren't any problems. That is your umbrella. George is a student. He's learnt a lot in the last couple of years. He has a bicycle. Joan can't come with us. She will help us later. Peggy would like to come with us to the party. Those aren't Fred's books. You have never been to Paris. Something is wrong with Jane today. Everyone can learn how to swim. Nobody cheated on the exam. Nothing went wrong while I was gone. I am invited. Fifth exercise, add question tags. Let's have a chat on the internet. The children aren't going to XX by bus. Albert hasn't met any neighbors yet. The students began to talk after class was over. When I phoned you last night, you were studying English. Jack and I play tennis very well. You and your family had a good vacation. Shut up. I am late. Do not your knees. Everybody, do not use your knees. Everybody will appreciate your kind behavior. I have to type it again. Barbara and Joe looked away when they saw me. Breathe deeply. Somebody is waiting at the bus stop. Honesty is the best policy. Tom's car was stolen. Susan needn't clean all the house on her own. Nobody can do that. Playing the piano isn't easy. Somebody has cleaned the garage. This car has been repaired twice. Sagi rarely cooks when her husband is on a business trip. It is possible to prevent air pollution. Murat must stop smoking. Sixth exercise, complete these sentences with a question tag. There is enough bread for today. The Browns aren't at home. The children are playing in the park. Your brother can play the piano. Tom doesn't go to university. We must get up early tomorrow morning. Everybody has to obey the law. Nobody likes a rude person. Tim doesn't have to go to the cinema with you. Nothing bad has happened today. Somebody helped you with your homework. There will be a meeting tomorrow. You never smoke. Everything was good. Izmir is bigger than Antalya. The red car belongs to you. You are feeling better today. The Carters have got their own house. This is your own car. Somebody will help you do the cleaning. Examples with positive statements. Positive statement. She is cooking, isn't she? You like ice cream, don't you? They will stay home, won't they? He can play chess, can't he? We should go home, shouldn't we? Jenny was busy, wasn't she? You are French, aren't you? They have finished, haven't they? Examples with negative statements. It isn't snowing, is it? You have never been there, have you? He doesn't like pork, does she? They didn't practice today, did they? He cannot come, can he? We shouldn't drink much, should we? They aren't home, are they? Jane wasn't sick, was she? Special cases. I am right, aren't I? Aren't I? Not am I. You have to go, don't you? You do have to go. Do. We have to separate do from the verb have. I have been answering, haven't I? Use post auxiliary. Nothing came in the post, did I? Treat statements with nothing, nobody, etc. like negative statements. Let's go, shall we? Let us. He had better do it, hadn't he? He had better, no auxiliary. Mixed examples. But you don't really love her, do you? This will work, won't it? Well, I couldn't help it, could I? But you will tell me if she calls, won't you? We had never have known, would we? The weather is bad, isn't it? You won't be late, will you? Nobody knows, do they? When to use question tags? We use question tags to check information or to ask for agreement. If we use a rising intonation in the tag, we do not know or are not quite sure of the answer. If we use a falling intonation in the tag, we are seeking the agreement of the person we are talking to. Intonation. What is intonation? We can change the meaning of a tag question with the musical pitch of our voice. With rising intonation, it sounds like a real question. But if our intonation falls, it sounds more like a statement that doesn't require a real answer. Intonation. It's a rise and fall of the voice when a person speaks. The voice rises in a stressed syllable or word. It falls in an unstressed syllable or word. Two kinds of final intonation patterns. One is falling, another one is rising. What is falling intonation? The pitch of the voice goes downward. What is rising intonation? The pitch of the voice goes upward. Rising intonation. We can reply to tag questions either with simple yes or no answers. Negative tags normally expect a yes answer, and positive tags normally expect a no answer, or by using yes or no plus auxiliary verb. In these examples, use a rising intonation in the tag. It is a genuine question. You are not sure what the answer will be. You haven't seen my tennis shoes, have you? No, I'm sorry, I haven't. I couldn't borrow yours by any chance, could I? No, they wouldn't fit you. Uses of rising intonation. At the end of a yes or no question, after a phrase within a sentence, in enumerating persons, places, objects, etc. Falling intonation. In these examples, use a falling intonation in the tag. You are simply seeking agreement. It's been a lovely day today, hasn't it? Yes, it has. Gorgeous. It was a lovely wedding, wasn't it? Yes, wonderful. I thought Sue looking stunning in her wedding dress, didn't she? Yes, she did. Absolutely stunning. It's a shame the day is over, isn't it? Yes, it is. So, falling intonation uses a statement, a comment, or request. A question which cannot be answered by yes or no. A question tag expressing certainty. Intonation. You just look at here. You don't know where my wallet is, do you? It's a rising intonation. So it is the purpose of asking a real question. You don't know where my wallet is, do you? Like that. It's a beautiful view, isn't it? So it's a falling intonation. It is not a real question. It is just for confirmation it is asking, isn't it? Some other textual exercises. Cities are increasingly becoming urbanized, aren't they? They experiment with ways to improve air quality, don't they? The aim should be to reduce congestion, shouldn't it? There is an urgent need to provide clean, reliable, and affordable energy to their growing populations, isn't there? Automation and shared mobility will play a key role in this transformation, won't they? It changes the way people commute in cities, doesn't it? Before long, a fleet of electric autonomous vehicles, AVs, could drive people to their destination, couldn't it? These shared AVs will run at higher utilization rates, won't they? They can substantially reduce the cost of mobility and congestion, can't they? These should not be thought of as luxury but as necessity, should they? Add appropriate question tags and role play the dialogue with your friend. Jayan. Hello Anish, it's your physics exam today, isn't it? Anish. Yes, they have set a very long paper, yet I managed to finish the paper, didn't I? Jayan. True, my maths paper too was very long, I couldn't finish it, could I? Anish. I couldn't solve my paper properly, could I? Jayan. Okay, actually my question paper was very easy, wasn't it? Anish. Mine wasn't easy, I made a silly mistake, didn't I? Jayan. Tell me about your English paper, will you? Anish. The story comprehension was very easy. I'm sure to score more than 10 marks on 15. I wrote it very well, there won't be any mistake there. Jayan. For me, my letter writing was the best. I didn't make a single mistake, did I? Anish. Okay, I have got lots to study for tomorrow's test, haven't I? Jayan. Me too. So, see you later. All the best. Bye. Anish. Thank you. Wish you the same. Bye. A special type of question is the tag that English speakers put at the end of many statements. The tags in the following sentences are shown in red. It's a lovely day today, isn't it? You live in Frankfurt, don't you? Miho can't speak German, can she? You haven't seen Miho, have you? His parents are very old, aren't they? You will remember to call me, won't you? Tags are very common in spoken English and have many functions. One of the common functions is to start a conversation or help keep it going. The two basic rules about question tags are: if the statement is negative, the tag must be positive. If the statement is positive, the tag must be negative. You don't like me, do you? You won't tell him my secret, will you? He doesn't speak German, does he? You are coming to my party, aren't you? She is really good at chess, isn't she? You haven't done your homework, have you? The tense of the tag is determined by the tense of the auxiliary or modal verb of the statement that precedes it. If the statement does not use an auxiliary or modal, that is, it is in the present or past simple tense, then the auxiliary must be used. She comes from Korea, doesn't she? You like heavy metal music, don't you? He got top grade in the maths test, didn't he? I really messed up, didn't I? Some verbs or expressions have different question tags. I am attractive, aren't I? Positive imperative. Stop daydreaming, will you or won't you? Negative imperative. Don't stop singing, will you? Let's go to the beach, shall we? Have got. Possession. He has got a car, hasn't he? There is or are. There aren't any spiders in the bedroom, are there? This or that. This is Paul's pen, isn't it? Someone has taken my bag, haven't they? Nobody has replied, have they? Seldom. She seldom goes by bus, does she? Add appropriate question tags to the following sentences. I am right. What we want to use here? Aren't I? Shut up. Will you? Don't forget. Will you? Move a bit. Do we? Let's go for a walk, shall we? You never say what you are doing. Do you? There is little we can do about it, is there? Somebody wanted a pizza, didn't they? He has a daughter, hasn't he? There weren't any issues, were there? Ravi wants to be an actor, doesn't he? Julia visited you yesterday, didn't she? I won't repeat it, will you? Swarna cannot run fast, can she? The lessons are quite interesting, aren't they? We need not come tomorrow, need we? Shreya draws well, doesn't she? She rarely absents herself, does she? Our team will win the match, won't it? Let's go for a movie, shall we? Plants give out oxygen during the day, don't they? The flag has 4 colors on it, hasn't it? He hardly absents himself, does he? He can use this, can't he? This lesson is easy, isn't it? I shall carry the bags for you, shan't it? You know the story, don't you? The bus is early today, isn't it? There is no water in the tank, is it? You can study well, can't you? They were climbing the trees, weren't they? The sun sets in the west, doesn't it? Students should be allowed to use the library every day, shouldn't they? You should treat each other with respect, shouldn't you? Character is influenced by surroundings, isn't it? Please give me your pen, won't you? I am right, ain't I? Your sister cooks well, doesn't she? I am not late, am I? He hasn't completed the painting, has he? It has been raining heavily, hasn't it? A little sugar is added, isn't it? The boys have come, haven't they? Let us go to the beach, shall we? She studied in America, didn't she? She doesn't like sweets, does she? Mr. Ranjit is a great scholar, isn't he? You can complete this project, can't you? Ahalya will never accept your proposal, will she? Mahati sings very well, doesn't she? These girls sing very well, don't they? Priya sang very well yesterday, didn't she? Please bring me a glass of water, won't you? Always follow the traffic rules, won't you? Would you? Join us for lunch tomorrow, will you? Don't ever meddle with my papers, will you? The young should learn to take up responsibilities, shouldn't they? The toys in the box are not new, are they? Nobody has arrived yet, have they? Everyone will attend the party, won't they? The peacock is the national bird of India, isn't it? Something has gone wrong in the circuit, hasn't it? This is not your dad's car, is it? There was a pond beside the temple, wasn't there? We rarely visit our native town, do we? A few germs can be viewed through this microscope, can't they? Little do your parents know about this problem, do they? Let's all go to the beach this evening, shall we? Neither of my friends helped me in that situation, did they? All of us are not eligible to apply for this course, are we? The children are very happy today, aren't they? You have not returned my books yet, have you? We enjoyed the trip very much, didn't we? Let's clean the shelves this weekend, shall we? My mother rarely travels by bus, does she? Somebody must build a cab, mustn't they? Anita never comes late to office, does she? I am always the winner, aren't I? Don't commit this mistake again, will you? Bacteria can never survive in extreme weather condition, can't they? Leaves wither during autumn, don't they? So we have to write the proper answer for the question tags. She is from a small town in China, isn't she? They aren't on their way already. Are they? We are late again. Aren't we? I am not the person with the tickets. Are I? Sorry, am I? Julie isn't an accountant, is she? The weather is really bad today, isn't it? He's very handsome, isn't he? They aren't in Mumbai at the moment, are they? You aren't from Brazil, are you? John is a very good student, isn't he? I like chocolate very much, don't I? She doesn't work in a hotel, does she? They need some new clothes, don't they? We live in a tiny flat, don't we? She studies very hard every night, doesn't she? David and Julie don't take French classes, do they? I often come home late. Do I? You don't like spicy food, do you? She doesn't cook very often, does she? We don't watch much TV, do we? Thank you. Thank you for the patience, students. Thank you.